Dzień dobry. Ciao. Hola. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Ken at just gone 10. Sorry I'm late. How are you this morning? Hope you're having a good day. If you haven't been before, thanks for coming. It's Ken at 10. We're here every day. You should be too, so you can catch up on the latest property news, what's going on right here. We're estate agents based in SW16, Norbury to be precise, James Alexander Estate Agents. We talk about what's going on in the marketplace and all things really. So I hope you're having a good day so far. I am. The weather is beautiful out there. This morning got up, when you get up and you think, oh no, it's that time of year when all of a sudden everything's dark. It's like, oh no, you're going to work dark, you come home, it's dark. Then we got into the office this morning, boom, out comes the sun. It's absolutely beautiful. Lovely, crisp autumn day. So a few things going on in the housing market. Today it's Tuesday, so we do Ask JA Tuesday. And the question today is, when do I need to have sold my property for in order to make sure that I make it for the stamp duty deadline? Because we all know that it might be a bit tricky after that. As you know, some of you will know, I have a suspicion that it may be extended after that date anyway, but let's assume it's not. Then the question becomes, when do I need to make sure I've got a buyer in order to make sure that I've sold by the time that March 31st deadline is here? And it's sooner than you think, but I'll come on to that at the end of the show. Heard a description this morning. Hello, Property Jungle. How you doing, guys? Thanks for tuning in. Anybody else out there watching, do give us a shout out. We'll shout you back. So yeah, just watching, I was listening to something this morning about how a guy, it was actually about racism, and he was describing his battle with racism over the years. And he said something that his mother had mentioned to him, and I thought it was a lovely description of children and how his mother felt about her children. Very poetic. She said it was like somebody had taken your heart out of your body, stripped it out of your body, and it was walking around in front of you. I thought, what a lovely description of how it feels to have children. I think that's a beautiful thing. But that's an aside. So yeah, we'll come back to the Ask JA Tuesday question at the end of the show, because I think it's important that people realize that you've got less time than you might think in order to sell. A few things in the headlines today. Coronavirus fueling social homes crisis. Shortage of social homes in England has caused the country to plunge into a housing emergency exacerbated by the coronavirus. Half of private renters say they feel safe in their home in the crisis, with millions stuck in poor, expensive and overcrowded homes. This could be a real issue for the future, because as we build less, then it's always the bottom of the pile that suffer most, isn't it? And I think that is definitely storing up trouble for the future. And if you put on top of that the way that the government has treated landlords in general, and they're exiting the sector, especially now taking advantage of that stamp duty window, it really is the perfect storm coming for tenants. And I suspect, as I've said for a long time now, that rents are going to be pressed like never before in the future, which is a shame. It's not good news. Even though we're landlords and managing agents, for us, when you have lots and lots of people, it's good to have good supply and be able to pick and choose the best tenants for your landlord, the ones that you can work with best. But by the same token, it's not nice when you've got lots and lots of people chasing a very little housing stock. It's just, really is a crisis that's going to grow and grow. And I think something needs to be done about it. Boris, if you're watching, I know you do, then listen up. You need to think about that. Social housing crisis is coming. Yeah, lender service, absolutely, Aline. Thanks for your message. Aline is saying that it's taking lenders a lot longer to offer mortgages. And this is true. This is exacerbating the time. And that's a very good point, Aline. I hope I'm saying your name right there. And yeah, we're finding that lenders particularly are dragging their heels on issuing mortgage offers. And this is causing a massive backlog. So that's one to watch for. And I'll come to the deadline that I think you need to have sold your house by, when that needs to be in order to take advantage of the stamp duty deadline at the end of the show. Over 17,000 pensioners sold their homes last year to pay for their care. Well, this has been something that's been going on for years, and many of you will know that more and more now, as we get old, and the one thing we hope to do is pass on inheritance to our children, it's becoming less and less common because it's being swallowed up by care home fees. And it's something we've seen more and more of over recent years. People have tried to duck and dive around it, but it is a massive issue. And I know some families, try and take their relatives in, but more and more now, people are going into care homes and literally handing over the keys to their life savings in the form of their house, and the family are not inheriting. And I often think, how must that feel? Imagine that. You work all your life to get fantastic property in the hope that your children can then inherit that and use that as a springboard to bounce on from. And it doesn't always happen, you know. Very sad that. London's new buy-to-let hotspots revealed, according to On the Market. Data from their survey revealed Bromley, Croydon and Redditch rental demand has jumped by 176%. Again, it's going back to what we said earlier, isn't it? You know, if you disincentivize landlords, then they don't offer stock. And then if you put an landlord licensing scheme, such as Croydon's, on top of that, then you disincentivize them even more. And guess what? You end up with an undersupply and hotspots where the demand is so high and the supply so short. So when do you need to sell by in order to make sure that you get your home sold for in time that you make that stamp duty deadline? Well, because, as Aline quite rightly points out, everything is taking longer. It's not like when the market is in its normal state of flux, and especially over the last few years where we've been on very thin volume, it means that lenders and solicitors aren't busy, mortgagees are not busy. And so the process is being on average 6 to 8 weeks. Well, now we're finding it's more common that it takes 10 to 12 weeks. And that means in order to sell your property, you need to have a buyer by early January. Round about the 9th of January is the latest that you want to have your property under offer by. And if it's not, then you run a real risk of missing that deadline, and that could possibly impact on the final price you achieve. So if you're thinking of selling and trying to make that deadline, don't wait until next year. Honestly, it's going to be too late. Do it now. And that may seem counterintuitive because normally at this time of the year, we're saying, you know what, it's getting towards the winter, give up on it. This year, the advice is the opposite. Crack on, get it done. We're really busy. Buyers are out there, sellers are out there. Volumes are better. If you're looking to buy in particular, then the supply out there is good too. And that's very unusual to have a supply of good quality properties that you can move to. So you want to be out there and sold by the 9th of January. And that means getting your skates on right now. If you need any advice on that, do come back to us. Aline, thanks for your input. Property Jungle, always nice to see you guys. Thanks for watching Ken at 10. We'll be back same time tomorrow with another Ken at 10. Hope you have a fantastic day. Keep yourselves and your families safe and well. Take